Hello and welcome back. I took this as a little cheeky opportunity to look at fusion and plasma weapons. If it is that you're watching this from the end of the last town video, welcome back. I know it was a bit naughty for me to just show you the finished figure and say, hey guys, there's another video, but I've been meaning to do this video as a separate and took the opportunity of making the town figure to take that opportunity. So I hope you like this video. I hope you like the effect it creates. And for those of you who are joining in just to have a look at fusion or plasma weapons, you too. I hope everybody enjoys and maybe likes the technique. So without further ado, to the table. Okay, so if you've been watching my other town video, you'll recognise this guy. But now has come the time to sort out his fusion weapons. I've been meaning to do a video on fusion weapons for Tau. And I'm hoping this should go fairly straightforward. So what we'll do is the slots at the end here and the slots that are sideways on at the end here, we will simply drop some white in. Now there's an easy way to do this. So if we put some white in a palette and we get a few drops of airbrush thinner, and that's fillet home airbrush thinner, and then obviously try not to mix the airbrush thinner and the white with the other colours I've got in here. But if we get it nice and thin, and then what we do, we wipe off the excess off the brush. And then just dip the brush into the paint, and then we can literally drop it in. So the concentrated white, and then I'll wipe off my brush just so there's virtually no paint on it, and then around the holes just spread the paint, but the bulk of the paint is staying in those recesses, which is what we want. And then we do like a little halo of white around, and we'll do exactly the same in the recesses. Get a little bit more paint on. Wipe the paint off again, and then just again create a halo moving up onto the objects around it, just so we can create a bit of a wash of light effect, and then we can run more paint into the hole so that we end up with a nice bright white colour. Wipe the brush clean again, and then clean off the surface area, just spread it around so it's an even distribution. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll move on to the engine system at the back here, and we're going to do exactly the same. So we're going to aim it into the grooves. So you can see the vents are actually standing proud, which is exactly what we want. And then the halo we do all the way around the engine housing like that. Oh, I missed the top vent. Let's go get back. Okay, and then as that dries, that's going to form our base. I'm going to nip around the model. I'm also going to do the rear exhaust ports. We'll empty them out in a minute. I'm just letting the paint settle in there. Okay, dry the brush, get the paint back. Ooh. Right, bubbly mess. Right. Just a little bit too much wash over there. So what I'm going to do is stroke across the tops of the housings. Glow. I'm going to go around the other guns and just do the undersides and the tops exactly the same as we did there, and I'll be back once I've done all that. Right, so when we're done we should have something looking like this, so just white blobs all the way around. But what you need to make sure you do is, because the paint is liquid, once you've moved the ghosting around the edges, then go back in and just drop the paint in and you'll find it'll just run straight into the grooves and reinforce your white for you. We've done that on the undersides as well and in the exhaust vents. So I'm going to leave that probably about half an hour and then come back once it's had a chance to dry. Right, so this should be more or less the last step. So we can see our white is dry, and so what we're going to do first is we're going to grab some of the pale yellow. So this is, actually it's not pale yellow, it's deep yellow by Vallejo. And we'll get some water and we shall thin that down. And then what we're going to do is apply it over the central areas near the cores. Just a nice light tone all the way across. There we go. And then we're going to go to a stronger colour. We're going to go to sun yellow by Vallejo. We're not going to thin this down. We're not even going to take the paint off our other brush. And what we're going to do is just work that around the holes. So I'm sort of using the side of my brush, so I'm not going too far into the recesses, and I'm trying to get a bit on all of the white that's around the edges. Just gently stroke a little bit into some of the plasma cores. Oh, sorry, these are fusions, aren't they? And then we'll move to orange, and we're going to first of all go to Orange Fire by Vallejo. And we're really going to just take a bit of the orange off the brush, really just going to work the edges here. Just got a little bit of a gap, which will blob with a bit of orange, and just get that orange pushed out there. It's way too dark, so bring that back off. Okay, and then we will go for a darker orange. This one is Orange Red by Vallejo. And this is going to be right around the edges. Just moving up onto the metalwork. Okay, and then what we will do is we'll get the white, and this is pure white, and we're going to have to use a fairly fine brush and be quite careful with it, but the white's going to come back into the front of the fusion. And in the middle of the fusion there, just to bring up the intensity. And I'm just going to mix the two oranges together and just give it a little bit more orange. It's just looking a little bit patchy. And then go back in with the sun yellow towards the back end of the fusion. And just at the sides here. Okay, and I think you can see that that's giving you quite a nice plasma look, and I'll go around all of the rest of them and then I'll show you the finished product. And that, my friends, is the finished model, complete with afterburners firing, guns ablazing. I hope you enjoyed. Well, that concludes the Plasma Confusion Weapon video. If you did enjoy it, please do like and subscribe. I kept the video nice and short, and if you wanted to see how the rest of the miniature was painted, I have done a video with that as well. So please jump over and have a look at that. In the meantime, I'll be having a look at what to do next. So only one thing left to say. Are we painting minis yet? Hell yeah! And I'll catch you in the next one.